The Institute of Botany of the Czech Academy of Science is one of the leading national botanical research institutions, an ideal symbiosis between a scientific institution, botanical collections, and the beauty of the Průhonice complex with its arboretum. In addition to the main complex in Průhonice, the institute also has centers in Třeboň and Brno. The history of the Průhonice complex dates back to the 12th century. The man responsible for the singular opportunity to admire the unique beauty of the chateau complex is the founder, Count Silvataruka. Průhonice Park forms a major part of the Institute of Botany, a unique architectural complex skillfully integrated into the rugged landscape along the mid-course of the Botič stream. It covers over 240 hectares of park forests, rocky precipices, ponds, and ornamental trees and shrubs. The genius of the founder manifests itself in the unexpected vistas of the chateau and the eye-catching views of well-laid-out trees and shrubs. The value of the park, however, lies in its valuable collections of trees and shrubs. The park's unique arboretum, which contains 1,400 species and varieties of trees and shrubs, many of them cultivated in this country for the first time, or completely unique to Central Europe. In addition to the park, selected collections are seasonally opened to the public. The Iris collection is one of the Institute's most important international collections. Botanical species and cultivars, hundreds of years old, grow side by side with the results of recent cultivation experiments. Roses, peonies, rhododendrons, daylilies, water lilies, and rowans are among the other long assembled and carefully documented collections. The Institute of Botany also houses a unique collection of cones, bark, and wood samples. Both the Arboretum and the collection are linked to basic botanical research. Research at the Institute of Botany covers a wide spectrum of botanical and ecological fields. At the Chotobuz Experimental Center, research focuses on population variability using enzyme analysis and numerous questions relating to plant evolution through the direct examination of genomes, DNA variability. The Experimental Center is also one of the leading research centers measuring genome size. Inconspicuous invaders from other parts of the world are infiltrating our landscape in profusion and endangering the biological diversity of our native ecosystem. This ecological invasion is the subject of intensive research at the Institute of Botany, leading to an understanding of the process of invasion from how a harmless plant becomes a noxious invader to its impact on ecosystems and on people's health. Giant hogweed and knotweeds are among the most visible examples. Another factor not visible to the eye, but all the more important for the existence of plants and plant communities, is mycorrhiza, a complicated symbiosis between fungi and higher plants. But some species are not viable without the help of mycorrhiza, withering away without them. Research results are applied in recultivation, toxic substrate indication, and ecological agriculture and horticulture. Research into the flora and vegetation of the Czech Republic is a vital part of the Institute of Botany's work. Among the important results of this work are the multi-volume Flora of the Czech Republic and vegetation maps. The Institute also studies the flora and plant communities of other regions. The Institute of Botany looks after one of the leading specialist public libraries in the country. Research work has to be duly documented, whether in databases or collections of preserved plants, herbaria. These resources also provide information on plants that are now extinct. Dendrochronology involves the analysis of tree rings. Together with palynology and paleoecology, it can read changes in vegetation throughout history, from the Ice Age to the recent past, like an open book. Dendrochronology is also used to date historical objects made from wood. Looking at an ordinary meadow, few people realize what a complicated and fragile community lies before them. The population and production ecology of grassland ecosystems are fields concerned with this issue at the Institute of Botany. Extensive cooperation with the management of national parks and other protected regions shows there's considerable interest in the results of our research. Aquatic autotrophic organisms and cyanobacteria and algae are excellent pollution indicators. Part of the Institute's research involves the toxicity of most cyanobacteria. People usually encounter cyanobacteria in places where it's multiplied excessively and becomes a danger to their health. The Institute maintains one of the largest collections of aquatic and wetland plants in Europe at Třeboň for research and education purposes. For example, the center devotes itself to the ecology of selected aquatic carnivorous plants. Plants often reproduce vegetatively, for which they utilize many different modes and adaptations. Perhaps the largest collection of these so-called clonal plants in the world is being maintained at the Třeboň Center. Třeboň is also home to the leading national research center studying algae and cyanobacteria. The excellent working conditions for the Center of Algology include an internationally important collection of autotrophic microorganisms, with more than 1,000 microorganism strains, extensively used for study around the world. The future of our botanical fields of research is promising thanks to the interest shown by students and young research workers at the Institute of Botany. The Institute of Botany is a center of botanical research where numerous botanical fields meet and work together. Close ties to Průhonice Park and the compelling setting of the Chateau complex combine to create a cultural, historic, ecological, and scientific complex of unique value.